Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about a pack that most of us really love or love to hate, whichever the case may be. But we're going to talk about the old school Alice packs. These things have been around forever and they're really tried and true. They've been in service for years. They've been all over the world and they've been pretty durable. The pack that we're looking at here is actually a large Alice that I got off one of my friends at my department. And this one is actually brand new, never been issued. You can actually tell by looking at the frame and the straps. So there's no scuff marks or anything on any of this. This is a brand new pack, so I'm actually not going to do anything with it right now. But we're going to do something with one of my other Alice packs, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I don't particularly like about the Alice. The first being the way the buckle system is, where the main flap comes down and attaches. There's really no way that you can unfasten these and fold them back out of the way to access the main compartment. You can loosen them all the way up and slide them off to the side of the pack and then open the main compartment, but they're still kind of in the way. So we're going to upgrade these buckles. And the other thing that I really don't like about these Alice packs, even though this is a new pack and never really been used, as they get age on them, you can see on this inside compartment that the waterproofing starts to deteriorate, and its stuff comes off, falls out everywhere, just makes a huge mess. So we're going to talk about my favorite way to fix this problem. All right, so the pack that we're going to be working on is actually a woodland camo medium Alice pack that I have. Um, for most things that I do, the medium rucksacks are probably my favorite size because they're big enough to um, put a lot of stuff in, but not too big that they're really easily overpacked. So, first thing that we'll talk about is the strap system. So, what I did here is I got some Fastex buckles. I cut the end off the strap, burn it, and then got it freed up out of this buckle. I put a little piece of webbing through there with the Fastex buckles to where I can just unsnap it and pull them out of the way, and then snap them back when I want to use them. So the other thing that we had talked about was the waterproof lining coming off the inside of the pack or the underside of the lid and making a huge mess. So here is one that I'd actually used uh, Flex Seal on, put a couple coats on, and made a nice waterproof layer. It stiffens that flap up some, but it's still somewhat pliable. So it actually re-waterproofs it so it can help keep water out of the main portion of the pack. So the main reason that I'm using this pack is I don't actually have a frame for it. I've never been a real big fan of the Molle frames, the metal frame, because they're just kind of a straight back frame and they're not super comfortable. So we're going to do something a little bit different with this. There's a couple things that you can do as far as frames go to kind of update the pack just a little bit. So the first option that we have is the Molle medium rucksack frame. It will actually fit in the upper padding of the Alice pack, and then you can strap the pack to the frame down here. The only issue with this is that it doesn't give you backpack straps. So you could take a set of Molle backpack straps and hook them through the buckles on the top and then around to the frame like you normally would, because it's kind of hard to find the surplus medium Molle rucksack straps. So you would still have to use these Alice straps and the hooks here. But we're actually going to do something a little bit different because I actually want to try a different pack frame. So for this pack, what we're actually going to use is the frame for the Molle large rucksack because it's got a little better curvature to fit your back. It's a little bit larger frame, so we can position the pack up or down the frame a little bit as we want it. And also it gives us a little more room down here at the bottom, because we're probably going to add something underneath this pack down here. The the large rucks actually have a very nice suspension system with the shoulder straps and with the waist pad or kidney pad. And also it gives us the opportunity to add a paracord carry handle up here onto the frame, because that was another thing that I really didn't like about the Alice packs, is they didn't have a carry handle on them. Now with the frame for the Alice, you could do a Cobra weave like this and add one to it, but I went ahead and put one on this frame. So let's get our pack on here and see what it looks like. Pack to the frame, we took these straps that run across the top of the pack, pull the buckles off, run these straps through the top slot in the frame here, put a plastic buckle on, and then added the buckles back after we ran the strap back through the webbing. And this actually secures the strap to the pack pretty good. Now this is a plastic buckle. If you want something a little stronger, you could look at putting a metal buckle here, but this actually attaches it very well to the frame. And then down on the bottom, you just take the straps that are already connected to the pack, just run them around the frame of the pack and then back through the buckles. And this provides pretty solid attachment. Also, you've got room still on the side of the pack to add attachments. You can put attachments on the frame. Here at the bottom, it gives you quite a bit of room to add other attachments to the frame. I think on this one, we're actually going to end up, I'm just going to put this Molle 2 waist pack on here and attach it to the frame. So we've got two ways that we can look at attaching this waist pack to this pack and frame. The first one is we can actually run it through the webbing that's on the bottom of the pack itself. Only bad thing about that is if we attach it that way, then it's going to ride with the zipper portion facing down. The other way is we can actually attach it straight to the frame here. What I like about that is then your zipper portion is up. So when you get to where you're going, wherever you're going to camp, whatever, you can drop your pack and detach the waist pack, pull the waist belt out of this compartment, and actually use this as a waist pack. So let's get this attached. So we've got the Molle attachments attached to the frame portion itself, so that the zippered portion of our waist pack is facing kind of upward. Now, to prevent this type of movement, I actually ran the top section of buckles through the bottom of the web gear on the Alice pack. So then when we buckle our straps, that takes pretty much all that movement out of that pack, and it ties this waist pack to the frame and to the Alice pack itself. So I actually like this setup pretty well, because it really doesn't stick far below the frame and the waist belt of the Molle 2 frame. So something else that we're going to add to this pack is I've taken a 13-gallon trash can and I've measured it up for the height of the pack to where I can get it to fit in. I think it ended up being about 10 inches, somewhere in that neighborhood, because the trash cans actually widen out a little bit as they get toward the top. So anything much taller than this, you won't be able to fit it down inside the medium pack. These also work pretty well in the large packs. Now, if you're using one of these packs on just the regular Alice frame, you know that every time you set the pack down, they fall over because of the shape of the pack, and there's no support in the bottom of that Alice pack. If you put one of these in the main compartment, then your Alice pack usually will actually sit upright because it's got something, a firm surface in there, so it don't actually just fall over. They also made a shelf system that would go on the bottom of the frames to prevent them from falling over. But this is just a 13-gallon trash can that we're going to put inside this. So here's what it looks like when it's down inside the pack. Then we can just put the contents that we're going to put in our main pack down inside that trash can. Good thing about this also, when we're camping, you can actually pull this out and use it to carry water, wash dishes, or whatever you need to with it. So I actually like putting these in these packs. So a few of the add-ons or equipment that we're going to put on this as well. We have a 1-quart canteen in the Alice canteen holder, a e-tool in the hard carrying case, and also a one of the Alice style first aid kits with the hard insert in it. And I actually love these little kits for making small first aid kits. Also on this one, we've got a Essie knife that we're going to put on here. And the most important thing that we're going to put in here is actually just a large first aid kit. So when it comes down to medical equipment that you carry in the field, I always tell everybody, don't buy these big overpriced kits that you can find online, like on Amazon or some of these places, because you'll pay quite a bit for them, and most of them are just absolutely full of junk. I'm a big fan of building your own kits, whether it's a trauma kit with tourniquets, or like this one's just a good first aid kit that I built myself out of quality equipment. And this is things that we use quite a bit when we're out in the woods. Now, as far as carrying case, I use one of the Cordura or nylon IFAC kits on like my gear at work. But for backpacks and things like this, I like to take my first aid kit, vacuum seal it, and then put it in a Mylar bag that you can vacuum seal. So now everything that's in here is pretty much impervious to water. It's vacuum sealed. You're not going to have to worry about dirt or grit getting in it. So I can throw this in my pack and it can ride around for a year or two. When I tear it open, it's just like this stuff's brand new. So a good first aid kit is hard to beat, and just buy good stuff and just build your own. So that's pretty much it for what we're going to put on this pack right now. We'll get everything rigged up on it and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. So here's the finished product. Pretty pleased with how it turned out. The only thing I really didn't like about it was the ACU color on the straps and the waist pad or the waistband. So I'll probably end up dyeing those a different color, more to match some of my other gear. Other than that, really pleased with it. It's actually a pretty comfortable pack. Now that the weather is getting a little bit better, probably use this for some spring camping. Once I get it totally set up for camping, I may do another video and just show you what's inside the pack. But anyway, thanks again for watching.